Rob, hey, have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you for coming. I know this is your break. I'm really sorry. Bill wouldn't let me do it any other time. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. Look, the only good thing is, Bill said is if we went over a little bit, it's okay. So, I mean, you kind of have that going for you. You know how it takes you like 4 hours to drink a cup of coffee? Well, you could actually sit here with your coffee and maybe finish it instead of having to stop to help customers every 2 seconds. So, I mean, that's kind of a plus, I guess. I mean, well, either way, it's only once a year. Where's Sarah? I know I didn't really want to get started until she got here. What is she doing? Cardstock again. Man, that and printer cartridges. I keep telling Bill we need to order more and more wrapping paper. Seasonal items. The way he looks at things is so ridiculous. He's over there. The way he looks at things is so ridiculous. He said he didn't want to stock more seasonal items because they sell out so quickly. And we have to order more. And I said, Bill, isn't that kind of the purpose of having a business, is to sell things? You know, if you have things that sell really well, that's a good thing. And he just rolled his eyes and said that I didn't understand anything about business. I said, well, I may not be a genius, but I know if you have something that sells really well, that's a good thing. But I don't know. He doesn't look at it that way, so he doesn't want to order a lot of seasonal stuff. I don't care. I get paid the same either way, so it doesn't really matter to me whether he orders more or not. I just thought I'd point it out. He's going back up the aisle. He's helping somebody. I'm looking at office chairs. Here she comes. Here. Hey, Sarah, have a seat. Yeah, we didn't get started. I want to wait till you were here. Okay, so do you want to go grab a cup of coffee or something? Oh, your break is later. Okay, well, I'm just saying I don't care if you want to go get a cup of coffee. It's fine. Okay, well, that's fine. Well, now, we are here to discuss the office Christmas party. Yeah. Well, no, I was out sick during the whole United Way campaign, so I missed all that. So Bill said that I would need to sort of head up the Christmas party this year. Yeah, how do y'all feel about that? No, Bernice will not be doing it anymore. No, not after that fiasco. Not after the fiasco with the cats. He said never again, never again. Now she's a little ill about it, so I know when we start sending out notices about this party, she's probably going to pitch a little bit of a fit. Now you know how she is with her tantrums, but don't worry. I mean, she's like 5 minutes from retirement, so hopefully this will be the last year we have to deal with that. I mean, I hate to see her go, but I wouldn't mind watching her leave this place. She's a sweet lady, but she's a nightmare. Okay. The first thing we need to decide is what day do we want to have it on? On whatever day you're not off. Well, see, here's the thing, though. Bill's, he's not going to say anything about my hoodie. I've got on a Christmas hat. It literally says Merry Christmas on it. He can't say anything about me wearing a hoodie to work. I know he has a thing about hoodies. His eyes twitch whenever he sees an employee wearing one. But look, it's kind of red. It's nice and soft. It's kind of festive, especially when you pair it with the hat. So, I mean, what's the dress code? You know, dress codes were made to be broken anyway. I'll wear a collared shirt tomorrow. So it doesn't actually matter when you're working, because this year Bill wants to have it after the store closes. Oh, honey, no, we're not going off site for this party. You know, they're not going to pay to hire out a place. That's not happening. He's not paying for that. He looked into it. He thought about, the Shriners building down there on Walker Street. He thought about seeing about renting that place out, but he said it was too much. So I would think an abandoned parking lot would cost too much for him. So he said, no, we can have it here one night after the store closes. And he said he didn't care what night, just whatever night works for us, because he has no life anyway. I mean, it's like he's always here. You ever notice that? It's like every time I come in here, even if it's my day off and I've come in to pick up my check or something, he is always here. And you know what I heard? Now I know this has nothing to do with the Christmas party, but you know what I heard about him? And I don't know what the deal is with this. I've heard, Michael told me that when Bill works morning shift, he comes in early every morning and he goes in the bathroom, and I don't know what goes on in there, and I don't know how Michael knows this, but he said Bill goes down in there and strips off all of his clothes in the bathroom. I don't know what it's about. I hope to God he remembers to put them back on before he comes back out, because that is one thing I do not want to see, is a naked Bill. I don't know why he does it, but Michael said he does it every time he works morning shift. I don't know. I don't know what goes on in there. I don't even want to know how Michael knows. I don't know if he walked in on him a few times. Of course, I think after you walk in on somebody doing that once, you make sure not to go in there anymore when they're in there. I mean, that's what I would do. But Michael said he's done it like every morning he works in the mornings. I don't know how long it's been going on. But let's just hope that it won't happen during the party. Okay. So we have to decide. I made some notes. I talked to Bill and I made some notes here about some different possibilities for this party. The first thing we have to do is decide what day to have it on. Now, never mind the calendar. I can see that. It's a Minecraft calendar. I know. Somebody put it up in the break room last January, and, well, it's the only one I could grab in a hurry. Now, so we have the month of December here. Now, the 7th is blocked off. I don't know what's going on, but Bill said no matter what, don't schedule anything for that day. I don't know. I don't know what's going on the 7th. He wouldn't say. He was being real weird about it. But he went ahead and put a Post-it note over the 7th and said don't do anything that day. So now, I don't want to try to schedule anything on the week coming up, because that's kind of short notice, and we still have to figure out food and stuff, and I think it's too short notice. So we're looking at, we have this whole week here. Do you want to do anything about doing it on a weekend? Yeah, I'm not too fond of that either. So you want to do it on a weeknight? Okay, we've got the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th from this whole week. And then we have the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. And if you really want to get into it, we still have Christmas Eve down here. Although I think a lot of people probably would not want to do it Christmas Eve night, especially if they have kids or they have things at home they have to do that night. So I would say it would have to be sometime within this week or this week. Now, you sure weekends are out, because that gives us extra days? You don't want to do weekends? Okay. Well, you got that new boyfriend. I know y'all probably busy. Don't want to be interrupted. I did not say anything untoward. Don't you file a report. Well, do you have any preferences as to I don't care. I'm working a lot of overtime those 2 weeks, so I'm already going to be here a lot of those nights anyway. I don't really care. Well, I hate it when people say that. Oh, any day's fine. But then if I pick a day, you're going to have a problem with it. So you want me to just close my eyes and point to a day? Would that be all right? Well, I thought about that. Bill said we should take a vote. But see, then you run into, it's not going to be convenient for everybody. No matter what night we pick, somebody's going to complain and say that their little darling's Christmas play is that night, or, grandma's having everybody over for fruitcake or something. There's going to be a problem. That's why I thought we should just leave it between the 3 of us and just pick a day and then just decree it like, here it is, it's this day. I don't want to get everybody else involved. No, Bernice will have a fit either way. It doesn't matter when we do it. She's going to want to throw the whole thing into the pits of hell, and I don't feel like dealing with her. I'm just gonna pick a day, and we're gonna go with it, okay? Oop, 13th. We're doing it on the 13th. Don't be superstitious. Bad things don't just happen on the 13th. Look, we'll prove it. Let's go ahead and do it on the 13th. You said you didn't care what day it was. Don't get superstitious on me now. I'm writing Christmas party on here, and I will go ahead and I'm gonna get Clara started on the flyers and the memo to everybody to tell them in the email. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna do email too. So okay, we've got December 13th. So that's one of the most important things, was to pick the date. So we're doing it on the 13th. Awesome. Okay. Now, we don't want a repeat of last year. Yeah, we're not doing cat rodeos again this year. No. It took 3 weeks to clean up that mess on that aisle. We're not doing cat rodeos. We're not doing a cat fashion show either. Everything does not have to be cat-centric because Bernice is not involved this year. We can forget about cats. Cats don't have anything to do with Christmas. I don't care what she says. I don't care what reference book she pulls out. They have nothing to do with it. Now, here's some ideas that I came up with for this year. You want to hear them? You keep yawning. Am I keeping you awake? I mean, dang. Okay. The first idea I had was to do a gingerbread, either like a gingerbread house or a little gingerbread train kind of thing. No, I don't mean like make the gingerbread. I mean you buy the kit. Like, look, I brought one. Now, this may be a little bit too involved for a Christmas party, but I thought about, hear me out. Sarah, listen to me. Just stop whining. I mean, no offense. I love you to death, but you whine way too much. No, here's what I was thinking. So we're going to have tables set up. We're going to clear out a big area around the registers up there, in that big open space. And we're going to put tables for everybody to sit at. And I thought it would be kind of cool to put one of these kits on every table. Go ahead and open it up. You open it up and set everything out. You get the idea. And then the people sitting at that table while they're talking and all the forced gaiety is going on and all the forced merriment, they can decorate a little train or a house. This just happens to be the train set. See, you can add little gumdrops and candies and icing. So they could decorate, and then maybe we could have like a little contest afterwards to see whose train is the coolest, and we could vote and decide which table's train came out best. You think? Oh, I didn't think about that. She will bring that up, won't she? She works in every conversation enough as it is. Oh, Rob, you haven't been here long enough to know about that. No. Cheryl? Yeah, over in the copy center. There was a little train mishap in her family like 20 years ago. And for some reason, Cheryl has kind of fixated on it. I can't believe you haven't heard this, but then how long have you worked here? 2 months. He should have heard a Cheryl Train story by now. There was her great uncle was hit by a train 20 years ago. Yeah, and she works it into just about every conversation she has. She finds a way to work it back into the fact that her great uncle was hit by a train. Now, if we put out train sets, it is guaranteed to dominate any conversation that she's involved in all night. What if we just did the gingerbread houses? You know what she'll do? She'll say, he lived in a house that looked just like that, and by the way, he was hit by a train. Bless her heart. You missed Halloween. She does the same thing with Halloween. She brings up in every conversation that she doesn't celebrate Halloween, even when it's a conversation that has nothing to do with Halloween. She would just preface it with, my family doesn't celebrate Halloween, but good morning to you, or something like that. It's really awkward. We take bets. with each other to see how long it takes her to work certain things into the conversation. Because she always does. It's like a guaranteed thing. Yeah, I've won $27 this year so far. And 3 reams of paper. Okay, so the train is out. But we're going to do the... You okay with the houses? Do the gingerbread houses? Okay. I don't imagine... Well, she's not as likely to say anything about that. So, okay. Now, I had another idea that was kind of similar, but this one could be controversial too. I did prepare for this meeting. Yeah, I'm gunning really hard to, I'm trying to show everybody how well I'm doing. I'm so prepared. Well, my evaluation's coming up in a couple weeks, so I want all this to be present in Bill's mind. My next idea is ugly sweater cookies. Look, now you can get a kit like this at Walmart for $8, and you get 16 ugly sweaters. Look at that, and see, you can decorate them. They have different little candies in here in red and green, and blue, and icing. They have white, red, and green icing, and it's all contained. You don't have to bake the cookies. The cookies are included. So I thought, or we could mix it up, like do Christmas cookies at some tables and do the little gingerbread houses at others. And then we could see whose cookies came out the best. Does that sound good? You don't think she'll say that, do you? How could she take this personally? Really, it's a cookie. That's true. But like I already said, well, she's going to complain no matter what we do at this party. She could not see what a mess she made of it last year. She is so blind to it. I don't know how some people can be so blind to the devastation that they just leave in their wake. Like they just tear everything up. I will never be able to unsee that cat fashion show. I certainly don't want to sit through another one of her parties. I know she wears loud, ugly sweaters, but she's not going to think we're making fun of her. Surely not. Well, that's just a bit dog barking. I'm never saying, I wouldn't certainly... She can't think that I would do this just to make fun of her ugly sweaters. What really bugs me is she wears those ugly sweaters year round. You can't even blame it on Christmas with her. And she's always cold. She's always complaining about how cold she is. Even in July, it could be 95 degrees outside and she's belly aching about how cold her arms are. So she comes in here in those ugly sweaters. Even in the middle of summer, she'll come in here with sweaters that have jingle bells all over them and looking like a sad little elf. I think half the time she doesn't even know what month it is. It's past time for her to retire. Bless her heart, but she's got to go. I say we go ahead and do the sweaters, especially since I already bought 4 boxes of these. Yeah, and it was with the business account, so I don't really feel like returning them now. So we're gonna do Christmas cookies and gingerbread houses, not trains. And Bernice, if she doesn't like it, she can lump it. She can go home. That's how I feel about it. I am not making every decision on this party based on her. Little hothouse orchid woman. Okay. Now there's another idea I have, because I know you want people to mingle at these kind of things. You don't want everybody just to sit at the table and only talk to the people at that table. You want people to get up and go around and talk. But see, that's part of the reason why I wanted to do the contest, because then people have to go from table to table looking at the different gingerbread houses and stuff. But I thought there was one more game, another game we could do, but I have some reservations about it. It's called Pin the Tail on the Reindeer. Yeah, it's kind of like Pin the Tail on the Donkey. The only thing is, you have the little paper tail and the tack in it. And then you put a picture of a reindeer up on the wall, and you put the blindfold on the person. You spin them around, and then they have to, they have to pin the tail on the reindeer. Well, The only problem is we did something similar to this. And Sarah, how long have you worked here? Yeah, you just missed that. We did a party a few years ago where we did something similar. It was pin the hat on Santa. And Clara kept accidentally missing with the hat. And the hat kept ending up in some pretty interesting places on Santa. Yeah, and then somebody filed a sexual harassment charge, and it just got ugly. It actually ended up on the news. The morning radio people were talking about it, and we were the butt of a lot of jokes around the Tri-City area for at least a month. Well, oh no, I'm afraid she'll do it again. She learned nothing from that. Some people learn nothing from their mishaps. Clara's one of those people. So, I'm kind of hesitant to do pin the tail on the reindeer. Maybe we could do it during one of her mini bathroom breaks. Oh, she's going to have more bathroom breaks this year. I'll tell you why in a minute. Yeah, that's another topic for this discussion. So let's do it, but let's make it like a sideline kind of thing. We won't make a big deal out of it. We'll just do it briefly while she's in the bathroom. And I think if we discuss it with everybody but her, they'll understand why. Okay, so I want to keep that in, and I will go ahead and use some paper, and I can draw a reindeer. Shoot, I can make one that tall. No problem. We'll do pin the tail on the reindeer, only when she's in the bathroom. We also have, here's another idea. If things get kind of slow, I mean, we don't have to do this. It's called Toilet Paper Angels. Now, I guess you could make angels out of toilet paper, but what you actually do is you use rolls of toilet paper, and you pick somebody and you just wrap them in toilet paper, and you can make like big wings and a toilet paper halo, and then the team that makes the coolest looking angel wins something. I mean, we can have like gift cards or movie tickets or something. I mean, I need to come up with some door prizes. What do y'all think of that? Oh, yeah, she would complain. Karen would complain about the waste, wouldn't she? Yeah. I can hear it now. She is so sanctimonious. I can hear it now. Hope you enjoy your Merry Christmas in that barren wasteland you're creating with all your waste. You know what? I'm going to do it just because I want to hear her do that. When she starts on her tirade about, we're going to destroy the earth with our party, I'm going to pull up my cell phone and I'm going to make a video of it. Miss High and Mighty, and then I'll show it next year for us to all laugh at. Oh, she won't be here next year, honey. No, people like her don't last very long. Okay, well, normally Karen works in the evenings. Yeah, she only works in the evenings because she said it aligns with her chi or something. She's just a homegrown nutcase, in my opinion. But here's another different thing this year. Now, Bill is being extra generous. I don't really know why, but he's allowing extra money in our Christmas party budget to have alcohol this year. Yeah, like an open bar. Well, maybe not an open bar, but an open case of Budweiser at the very least. Well, you don't have to drink. We'll have other things here. We'll have punch, eggnog, which I think is gross, but people always say they like it. But I never see anybody drink it. We'll have a big thing of it, and nobody touches it, but they talk about how wonderful it is. We'll have eggnog and punch, soft drinks. But this year, Bill said we could also have some alcohol. That was another reason for wanting to have it after hours on site. Not so many prying eyes to ask for like liquor licenses or whatever. Yeah, don't tell anybody though. Don't tell anybody about the alcohol. So, well, you know how Clara has a hollow leg. I mean, did you go to the staff retreat? Girl, let me tell you something. Clara at the staff retreat, this goes no further than 3 of us. She drank so much, she ran out in the woods and took her pants off and ended up getting in a fight with a porcupine. The porcupine won. Yeah, and she came back covered in quills. She had to walk like a cowboy because she couldn't. They were stuck all over her legs. They were on her buttocks. It was sad. It was sad. And it was so, I mean, Oh, no, no, she didn't learn anything. That was the first staff retreat. We went on another one the following year. She went out in a canoe and tried to sing love songs to a duck. We had to get her out of there before she drowned herself. So I guarantee you she's going to spend a lot of time either in the bathroom or puking out the back door. So we'll have plenty of time to pin the tail on the reindeer. So, yeah. So y'all okay with that? Now, how do you feel about, here's what Bill said we could do. We can either do beer and some wine. Hang on a minute. Well, it depends on the wine. Now, he said we can, if we want to have wine, we have to cut the beer allowance in half, and the only wine we're allowed to get are the $2 bottles of Wink wine at Aldi. It's actually not bad, for a $2 bottle of wine. I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't care as long as it's chilled a little bit. It tastes okay to me. And Bill is going to provide. He's going to pay for any Ubers or taxis or whatever are needed to get people home, so you can get just as smashed as you want to on $2 wine. Or for the beer, he said, actually we can't get Budweiser. No Budweiser, but we can get Schlitz. That's one option. No, not Coors. Way too expensive. Or we can get Natural Light. We can get a mix of both. The Schlitz has to be in the big bottles because it's cheaper that way. Yeah. Zima. You need to just quit right now. Don't suggest Zima. That brings back memories of the 90s, and it gives me a hangover just thinking about it. You just quit right now. Say, there's going to be no Zima at this party. I don't care if they did bring it back. We are not. Don't bring Zima to this party. You will doom it. Okay, I'll forget you said it, but you got to keep it to yourself. Here's another thing. Now, I'm thinking like the ghost of Christmas past visited Bill, or he had some sort of awakening since last year. Because he also said we could bring a guest to the party if we want to. Like a spouse or a friend or significant other, whoever. See, I don't think it makes it better. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's actually going to be a bit of a problem. No, I'm not bringing anybody. No, I think it should just be kept to the employees here. I think it just needs to be for us. But he said, no, it's not fair. The managers, when the managers have that big swanky party up at Grandover. Oh, they can bring 2 guests if they want to. Yeah, so Bill could take his wife and his girlfriend, and from what I heard, he did last year. Yeah, well, he was kind of drunk when he made the plans, and he thought if he introduced them, they'd like each other and get along and be friends. I don't think it turned out too well. Well, he's divorced now, so I'm pretty sure he's not. I don't think it turned out the way he hoped. Okay, so we talked about the alcohol. Yeah, so are y'all thinking about bringing anybody? Okay, well, that's fine. If you don't have to RSVP or anything. He's already planning for everybody to bring one person, so you don't have to tell him or anything. You just come with your whoever. Well, now I wrote down some problem couples because we've got some problem couples, and if the 3 of us are in charge of this party, we're going to have to be watching out for these people, okay? Now, there's Darrin. He's one of the shift managers, and he always comes to this thing. Now Darrin is married to this very unagreeable woman named Samantha. Don't call her Sam or try to shorten it. If you don't call her Samantha, she will literally hit you. Like, she'll slap you on the shoulder, and she's not even playing. No, she has that short, chopped off, really bleached out blonde hair. That, can I speak to the manager haircut? And she's always complaining about Starbucks, and she wears those giant hoop earrings. Yeah, and she's got that bleached out. She used to have frosted tips on her hair, and now it's just completely bleached out. like she left it out in the sun for about 4 years or something. It looks like if you bend it like that, just break in half. She's always complaining about Starbucks. Funny thing is, she goes there every day. And if you call her on it and say, if you hate Starbucks so much, why do you keep going? She will hit you again. She just loves to hit people. So, yeah, look out for her. We'll spot her hair before you even notice it's her. Her hair is like a beacon in the night. It's like a lighthouse. Now, and then there's Randy. He's always worked. You know Randy. And yeah, that one. He's always working up front. He hardly ever talks to anybody. Well, from what I understand through the grapevine, he's got this new girlfriend, and I don't know her name. I don't even know what she looks like. But she's always circling the parking lot out there. Like she'll just go round and around in her car. And she just keeps looking in the window. She just looks like a silhouette. I have no idea because I've never seen her get out of the car. And it causes Randy a lot of stress, because he's worried that she's going to do something or cause a problem. And he about quit over it one time. But then she told him if he quit, it was proof to her that he was cheating on her. I think she's just crazy, but she's always circling the parking lot, and she keeps calling. Like she'll call the store and ask to speak to him and then hang up, so that by the time he comes to the phone, she's hung up. I don't know, but the only problem is I'm not going to know her when she comes in, because I only just, when you look at somebody in a car and they just kind of look like a silhouette. Yeah, I have no idea what she looks like. So just if you see Randy with a female, yeah, watch out, because I don't know, I just get this feeling there's going to be like a big fight. I don't know. But just keep an eye on them, okay? Okay. Now, Bernice. Oh, no. I had to discuss. Yeah, Bernice already knows. That's what Bill said. Bernice already knows that he's allowing us to bring a guest this year. And she is insisting. She is absolutely insisting on bringing her 3 cats, or 3 of her cats. I don't even know how many cats she has. She's got enough cat hair on her every day to make another one. She wants to bring 3 of her best cats to the party instead of a +1. And she said it's only fair because if you can bring another person, then she should be able to bring 3 of her best cats. And she's going to want accommodations for these cats. Like she's going to want scratching posts and toys and some specialty food. Where is it? There's some sort of food that she feeds them, like Life Science or Life Alert. No, that's her necklace. Life something or other. Science Diet, Life, I don't know. Some kind of food that she gives them, and it's like $25 for a little bag of it. She's insisting that we have a selection of that here for her cats. And she said, well, I mean, you take into account people's dietary restrictions. So for my guests, you should be able to do the same. Well, I'm not blowing part of our budget on some stupid fancy cat food. The way I see it, she can get some cold cuts off one of the trays and just give them that. So if she starts bucking up and having a problem, you send her to me, okay? I'll shove her in my Santa hat and throw her out in the back. I'll put her in the dumpster. I'm just done with her. I'm just done. Everybody around here tiptoes around her. Why do they do that? If any one of us blew up like she does, they'd fire us on the spot. But her, they just send her to talk to that counselor person that I can't even remember her name. She looks like a squirrel. He sends her there, and they don't do anything to her. I think they're just waiting for her to die, personally. I think they're just waiting for her to die. Okay, and then there's, Clara, well, she's going to be drunk the whole time. But have you ever met her husband? His name's Ben. I think it's Ben. I don't know. I think they picked whatever name was shortest and would take the least amount of effort to say. He never talks. Now, I met him. He came to pick her up at that second staff retreat, the one where she was trying to woo a duck. He had to come pick her up. I don't know what it is about him. Well, first of all, he never talks. You will never hear him say a word. He never speaks. You can walk right up to him and say, "Well, hey, Ben, how are you today?" And he'll just stand there and look at you. And he has crazy eyes. You know what I mean by crazy eyes? Some people just have these eyes that are they're just crazy eyes. He has crazy eyes, and he will just stand there and look at you like he's boring right into your soul. And he doesn't blink much, and that doesn't help. I think it's an android or something, like an alien. I don't know. But he never, ever speaks. So, yeah, he's going to be the real life of the party, I'm sure. Yeah, he'll come all right, because she's going to get drunk as a skunk, and somebody has to take care of her. I don't know. So those are the only couples that I'm really concerned about right now. I mean, that's not to say there won't be other problems. But that's another reason why I would never bring anybody to one of these things. Because it always ends up, especially now with alcohol and guests, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a raucous, nasty mess, and Bill is going to regret it. Now, before we go, I know y'all got to get back to work. I'm sorry, but look, you're on the clock. Would you rather be doing this or putting out stock or ringing up customers? I'd rather be back here myself. He said we'd take all the time we needed to. Now, the last thing we need to talk about is the caterer. Believe it or not, we are not just having stuff from the grocery store that we bring in ourselves. It's actually being catered this year. Yeah, we don't even have to bring anything. Can you believe that? It's not potluck this year. Now, Brenda is the one y'all need to think about. And we're going to talk about the caterers in a minute. Brenda will be a problem no matter who caters this. And I just need y'all to be prepared. If she comes to y'all wringing her hands and that furrowed brow, that she's always like this, she will tell you that I don't even care what it is. She will say it will aggravate her undiagnosed Lyme disease. Don't listen to her. Just tell her she's going to have to bring food from home then, because we are not making special accommodations. She says all she can drink is raw milk, and all she can eat is this certain kind of goat cheese from the Himalayas, because her undiagnosed Lyme disease is aggravated by like every other food and drink on the planet. None of our caterers are going to have raw milk or Himalayan goat cheese, so she's just going to have to make her own arrangements if she comes to this party. You're going to have to take a hard line with her. Yeah, just like Bernice. Don't take her crap anymore. When she gets in your face fussing at you about the way you front and face the store at night, give it right back to her. Somebody needs to. So don't worry about Brenda. Tell her to push off if she gives you any trouble. Okay? Now we have 2 caterers to pick from. Unfortunately, these are the only 2 in our price range right now. And it seems that they're always available. I don't know why, but nobody ever books these people. The first one is Alice's. Oh no, Alice's is fine. Those charges were dropped, so they're okay. We could go with Alice's. They have these really good biscuits. I think only one person ended up with botulism from the cherries in that dessert, but the biscuits are great. Well, I've already checked with Alice's, and they're free every night, like they have no business at all. Some people are so quick to judge. That's an option, and the other option is Patrice's Eats. Patrice's Eats. Well, nah, yeah, they're not very well known. Their store is actually located down this little alley. Yeah, it's called Rat Alley. I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with their business, but you have to go down this alley and knock 3 times on this door with no sign on it. That's where it is. Yeah, but you're not supposed to tell anybody. I think they're operating without licenses or something. And it's basically everything they have is just a bunch of dead things on a bed of lettuce, but they're really cheap. So I was thinking it would be fine to have either Alice's or Patrice's Eats do it. The good thing is this year we'll have alcohol, so even if we're writhing on the floor with food poisoning, we'll be drunk, so we won't care anyway. Well, not until the next day, anyhow. But the hangover will mask any food complications we have. So what do y'all think, Alice's or Patrice's Eats? Alice's. Okay, we'll go with Alice's. And I will give them a call and let's see what they can do for us. They just have a standard Christmas party set up. It's not like, you don't have a lot of choices. They'll probably bring cookies and some meats and sandwich making stuff. It's not going to be like roast duck or anything like that. It's basically whatever Alice can fit in her trunk from Costco. The only problem is sometimes she goes to Costco and she leaves the meat trays and the cheese trays in her trunk and she forgets about them for a few days. But I'm sure we'll be okay. I mean, it's, the party's the 13th. Maybe she won't buy them too far ahead if she does forget them. Sometimes she gets lost on the way to the party. She was telling me about that. She did go on and on about her problems, and she wonders why she has no clients. That and the charges are probably why. So, how do y'all feel about it? Are you excited? Yeah, I'm jazzed, can't you tell? Well, all we can do at this point is hope for the best and be prepared for the worst. And either way, it should give us some good stories to tell next year. Okay, get back to work.